When you look at the entire animal kingdom, it's pretty overwhelming, right? But what if I told you there's one simple line that splits almost every single creature into two giant competing teams? Well, today, we're going to figure out exactly what that line is and why it matters a whole lot more than you might think. All right, so let's start with a bit of a puzzle. I want you to picture a blue whale. I mean, the biggest animal that has ever lived, okay? Now picture a tiny little hummingbird, so small you might mistake it for a bug. And then, well, there's you. So what on earth could all three of you possibly have in common? I know, it sounds impossible, right? But the answer? Well, it unlocks one of the biggest secrets of the animal kingdom. So what is it? The answer is something you've got inside you right this very second. It's your backbone. Yep, all three of you, the whale, the hummingbird, and you, belong to the first great division of animal life, the vertebrates, or as I like to call them, team backbone. So what exactly is a vertebrate? Well, it all boils down to one single feature, having a backbone, also known as a spinal column, right there inside your body. It's basically this internal stack of bones that acts like the central pillar holding up the whole structure from the inside out. And this internal setup, it has a scientific name, of course. It's called an endoskeleton. That endo part just means within. So it's a skeleton on the inside. And honestly, it's a brilliant design. It gives all this amazing support, but also lets an animal grow and move with some incredible flexibility. And let me tell you, Team Backbone is an incredibly diverse crew. We're talking every fish in the sea, every frog hopping around a pond, every snake, bird, and every mammal on the planet. From a little mouse all the way up to a giant elephant. If it's got a spine, it's on this team. And that, of course, includes us. Okay, so we've got Team Backbone covered. But what about everybody else? Well, this brings us to the other side of that great divide, to the massive, sprawling world of the invertebrates. And here's the twist, folks. This group is way, way bigger than you could possibly imagine. Just look at this number. 95%. Seriously, that means for every single vertebrate animal out there, like us, there are about 19 animals without a backbone. So invertebrates aren't just another group. No way. They are the overwhelming, absolute majority of animal life on Earth. It's a mind-bending stat, really. The definition, then, is about as simple as it gets. An invertebrate is just any animal that does not have a backbone. That's it. No internal skeleton holding them up from the inside. And the variety in this group, it's absolutely off the charts. I mean, think about every insect that's ever buzzed by your ear, every spider you've seen spinning a web, every snail, every octopus with its crazy alien-like intelligence. All of them, from squishy jellyfish to wriggly earthworms, they're all part of this massive, spineless family. So wait a minute. If there's no skeleton on the inside, how do they, hold themselves together? Well, a whole lot of them evolved this brilliant solution, an exoskeleton. Remember, endo meant within, while exo means outside. So it's a hard, external skeleton. It's literally a built-in suit of armor that gives them structure and protection. Okay, so we've met Team Backbone and the massive Team No Backbone. Now, let's put them side by side, head to head, and really break down the key differences that set them apart. Okay, this pretty much lays it all out perfectly. The number one difference, the big one, is the backbone. Vertebrates have one, invertebrates don't. Simple as that. And that directly leads to the skeleton type, right? We've got the internal endoskeleton for us vertebrates versus the external exoskeleton, or sometimes no skeleton at all, for the invertebrates. And because of that fundamental structural difference, you generally see more complex body systems like advanced nervous and circulatory systems in vertebrates. So really, when you strip everything else away, it all comes back to that one single question. Does it have a backbone? That one evolutionary split is the fundamental line in the sand. It's what divides the entire animal kingdom in two. But so what? Why does this simple divide matter so much? Well, because it forces us to ask a really interesting and kind of surprising question about who's really running the show here on planet Earth. I mean, think about it. Our attention is almost always on the vertebrates. They're the big, charismatic animals. The lions and the whales and the eagles. They often seem like they're at the top of the food chain. But in the grand scheme of things, in the game of sheer numbers, they are completely and utterly outnumbered. When it comes to population, this planet belongs to the invertebrates. Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought. Yeah, we might have the backbones, but they have the numbers. They are in every single ecosystem, influencing everything. So, with no backbone at all, could it be that the invertebrates are the true rulers of the planet? Maybe, just maybe, it's the ones without a spine who are really in charge.